Rocky Mountain Construction is one of the leading manufacturers in the theme park industry, and it's easy to see why with their incredible roller coasters such as Iron Gwazi or Steel Vengeance. But as the innovations of other manufacturers get shown to the world, RMC always stays one step ahead of them. RMC started off as a subcontractor for other companies and helped build rides like El Toro at Six Flags Great Adventure, but then took on a huge task in 2010 when they promised to transform Texas Giant into a marvel and preserve its legacy forever. To do this, they used their revolutionary iBox track, which was two steel I-beams connected together by one larger metal piece below. Using the old wooden structure, they tore the track off and used the support structure for new and exciting elements. Six Flags was extremely impressed with the quality and popularity of the new ride, and lined up more wooden coaster renovations for the company. While the track of these rides were technically steel, it still used the old wooden supports and therefore made it a hybrid coaster, which was not very marketable, and parks would much rather have the world's largest wooden coaster rather than hybrid. To solve this problem, RMC made the Topper Track coaster, which could be classified as wood, and also had the feel of a wooden coaster. They were built ground up and not on the structure of a pre-existing wooden coaster, so a park with no woodies or one with multiple existing ones could invest in a coaster like this. Another key part of these coasters was the ability to invert, which could be marketed uniquely and make for some crazy rides. It sounded like a great idea at the time, but two issues began to arise with these coasters as time passed. The first idea is common for many wooden coasters, but these rides began to have major rough spots as time passed. It got to the point where some of these rides needed to be RMC'd themselves, such as Lightning Rod at Dollywood, which has way more issues than just the roughness, which we're not going to go into detail about. The other issue was the marketing factor was gone, as the hybrid coaster race took off as parks wanted the tallest and fastest of its kind, so the Topper Track became obsolete and the last ones were built in 2016. As more parks loaded up on hybrid coasters, the company needed a new model for returning customers, and the Raptor was born. This had some similarities to the iBox design, but only had one rail and was made of entirely steel supports. The Raptor was made to be a clonable and compact model, but a Six Flags called for a custom version, and RMC is now able to create custom layouts with the model. While the bigger version of this model has been announced, we haven't seen any signs pointing at an installation of one anytime soon, but this could change the industry forever, as the coaster wars could start back up with the RMC T-Rex. From 15 inversion coasters to going 500 plus feet, this is certainly something to watch in future years. Jumping back to more realistic models, the Family Hybrid was announced early last year with potential to be very popular, as the market is slowly shifting to new family thrill rides, but we haven't seen an installation yet. However, this model will likely take off if parks want to RMC their smaller family woodies, such as the Woodstock Express clones, or if they need a ground-up hybrid that accounts for all ages. Through all of this, RMC has had a major complaint that they have tried and yet failed to fix, which is the restraints. The complaints of RMC's restraints range from shin guards, which can dig into part of your legs, to the bar itself, which will hurt your thighs, especially on airtime-filled coasters like Air Force One. After multiple generations of new trains trying to address the issue, RMC finally hit the mark with their Wild Moose trains. The Wild Moose was a Wild Mouse spin-off that was made to replace older Wild Mouse coasters or take up open lots of land. While the layout was wonky and made for families, the obvious difference was the trains, which were one row long and had different restraints. Instead of the bulky metal bar that will dig into your thighs, they took a much better approach by making a softer Intamin-like T-bar that is much more comfortable. While the shin guards are still in place, they look less extensive and more open. While these are currently only on the Wild Moose, there's a high chance we'll see this spread to the other family coasters, and maybe even to high thrill rides, with a few adjustments. With both the Wild Moose and Family iBox, there's a likely chance that we see RMC rise to be a major player in the already saturated family coaster market. As for wooden coasters, some parks don't want to flat out RMC their woodies and rather preserve them, but wooden coasters require a large amount of care and maintenance, especially retracking. To solve this, both of RMC's main competitors, which are Gravity Group and GCI, have introduced revolutionary retracking methods in the past few years. GCI has had a lot of success in the short existence of the Titan track, which is a steel track similar to RMC's design, but they have been putting short sections on rough wooden coasters to improve their experience. This track has been used on mini coasters and taken away business from RMC, as parks would rather invest in a small retrack rather than a full hybrid conversion. While retracks have been around for a long time, this technology is revolutionary and will make it so the coaster won't need replacement track probably ever again. On the flip side, Gravity Group is working on their new pre-cut track, which is used as a long-term replacement of track, but still keeping the wood feel and look. These can be done in small portions like the racer at Kings Island, or be used to completely make over an old wooden coaster in need of TLC, and even add exciting new elements and features, such as Tonnerre to Zeus in France. While all of these have been successful up to this point, RMC may have struck gold and done their usual innovation yet again. The 208 retrack is very similar to Titan Track, but can be installed on almost any wooden coaster, no matter the manufacturer. This track is an iBox design that RMC has mastered, while GCI is still working on their model of it. Also, the 208 retrack is much more flexible, and we've seen it on Gravity Group coasters like Mindblower. Having ridden Mindblower both before and after the retrack, I will say it's a much smoother ride experience, but the transition from Gravity Group to RMC track is far from seamless. As for the future of RMC, the new train designs may very well be used on new full-scale hybrid coasters, and the 208 retrack will be very popular for rough wooden coasters. While many parks have already invested in hybrid coasters, many in the international markets are still eager to get one. As for Cedar Fair parks, we might see even more RMC coasters in those parks due to the merger with Six Flags, who is RMC's top customer. To compete with the Intamin Hot Racer, we might see major improvements made to the Raptor, such as getting rid of the uncomfortable shoulder straps in favor of an over-the-shoulder lap bar. We also might see more innovation than ever with this model, like the addition of launches in order to offer a higher upside than the Hot Racer. While a lot of companies compete for business in the amusement industry, RMC is and always will stand out for their incredible ability to innovate and push the limits of roller coasters. I would highly appreciate it if you were to simply click the subscribe button down below to support my content and push it out to more people. This is Zero G Coaster signing out. Have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next train.